everyone, and welcome to the Association post-game. Are there any better words in sports than Game 7? I know y'all were all looking forward to that night. We just watched it, and it was a dominant performance from the Cleveland Cavaliers as they won 125-94 over the Pistons. They did it on the road, and they are now going to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2018. So we've got all of the reactions, the replays, the analysis coming your way here on NBA TV and the NBA app. And my name is Roz Goldonwoode. I'll be your host today, and I'm joined by our analyst, Ben Taylor. Ben, what's up? How you doing? It's great to see you again.
Roz, it's always great to see you. We got Game 7 basketball. We got conference finals coming up. You're looking lovely and dapper in the studio tonight, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, you know, we usually do this, and we're coming from wherever we're coming from. I see you looking great, hair swooped to the side, the plant doing what it needs to do in the background. You are in Game 7 mode yourself, Ben.
I'm ready to go. Let's do it. What are we starting with?
Well, let's start with just a quick instant reaction to Game 7. The Cavs advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're going to take on the Knicks, who have now been resting after their sweep of the 76ers. For the Cavs, this is a big moment for the franchise as they get back to the conference finals for the first time since 2018. This is a Cavs team that has now played 2 consecutive series with a Game 7. So they've had to go all the way just to get to this point. And now with this win over the Pistons, what do you take away from the dominant fashion in which they got this time?
Well, they played great tonight. They had a great game plan that they executed. Donovan Mitchell was really fantastic. Stan Van Gundy talked about it on the call. We see in this highlight package, he got downhill early. He made really great decisions with the ball. 8 assists, Roz, and 0 turnovers in addition to starting the game 10 of 18 from the floor. So he just had it all night. I thought he did a great job attacking early off of makes or misses, getting downhill, getting into space. The decision-making was great. And then Cleveland played a lot through their bigs, something we've seen more and more of in this series, Game 5 and Game 6. And Jared Allen had a great game. Evan Mobley had a great game. They're initiating offense, making decisions, getting downhill. So that was consistent from the jump tonight. And it was one of those games where, I was texting people early in the first quarter, and I was like, Detroit's in trouble. This is not looking good for Detroit. Cleveland's got a great game plan, and Detroit's going to have to bring a counter or an adjustment at some point and step up their game. That never happened, and the Cavs ran away with the Game 7.
Yeah, and just to back up all of the great points that you made there, Jared Allen, 23 points, 7 rebounds, and Evan Mobley, 21 points, 12 rebounds for the double-double, not to mention 6 assists. Donovan Mitchell led the way for the Cavaliers with 26 points, nearly a triple-double, 8 assists, no mistakes, 7 rebounds. And for me, in watching this game, I was like, what a switch up from Game 6 to Game 7 of this series. You know, it was the Cavs who came out in this game with great urgency, the work ethic, the physicality, the taking it down the throat, the aggressiveness, and also the accuracy. One of the keys for me was just watching how they didn't turn it over as much. As a team, the Cavs only had 11 turnovers. And in past games, they've just coughed the ball up so much. I want to call out James Harden, who only shot 2 for 10 from the field, but he still had 6 assists and only 1 turnover in this game. How important was just, his accuracy and maybe concentration?
Yeah. I think it was the game plan and the execution. So you see a play like that, they know how they want to attack. They want to bring Duncan Robinson up into the pick and roll. That makes it easier for these players to execute short roll pass, Jared Allen ball fake, layup. Donovan Mitchell, he's got a ton of space to work with. Defenders aren't coming. He's going to attack one-on-one. You're at lower risk of turnovers in those spots, and they just made great decisions as we watched the highlight package. They were sharp. They were crisp all night. It's rare, to your point, Roz, to see a Pistons team outworked this year. They've been the junkyard dog of the league, winning the loose ball battles, winning the offensive glass, the defensive glass, and the Cavs just looked a step ahead tonight. And we've seen this from Cleveland, where we saw it in Game 5. They have these spurts. They have these moments where they really start to play fluid basketball. The energy was there, and just a completely dominant performance, rivaling the 1948, what was it, the 1948 Philadelphia-St. Louis Game 7 blowout for biggest road margins of victory with a 31-point margin of victory on the road. Great game from them.
Ooh, I love when you get your history books, Ben. I know that's where you
I
shine
got to
with the
slip it in.
stats and
Yeah, you
you
know,
know all that extra knowledge from back in the day. You weren't alive for that, right? No, I'm just messing with you.
you got to do something with it. I was young, but I remember it was precocious in the 40s. Anyway, where were we?
How about the bench play? I feel like in game six for the Pistons, the bench was completely outdid what the Cavs could. The star off the bench in this game, Sam Merrill, 5 for 8 from three, 23 points, just dagger after dagger on the kickouts.
I was surprised when I pulled up the box score in the third or whenever the game really started to get out of hand. I said, oh my God, Merrill already has 23 points. Because in addition to the shot making on all those plays, Roz, I thought he did a good job holding up defensively. I thought he made extra passes. I thought Cleveland was really good, as you said, on the kickouts. Evan Mobley had just a ton of great closeout drives in this game. Jared Allen, he does these little circle cuts off the baseline into the paint. That created a problem. So, yes, tonight was another example where if the Cavs can get that fifth player, they've always had the two guards and the two bigs. If they can get someone in that fifth position to really execute, and not just as a shot maker that helps the offense so much, but in the all-around game, they become a much more difficult team to beat. So, yes, great work by their bench as well.
And after getting crushed on the offensive glass in game six, the Cavs really responded with their rebounding. Ben, you already pointed out how well their size, their bigs played. They had in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, they had contributions off the bench, Sam Merrill. They had solid, heads up, if not explosive play from James Harden. But this all starts and is centered around Donovan Mitchell. Is it not? Is it not? What can you say
Yes.
about in the game seven? With a chance to go to the Eastern Conference Finals, the first time he's ever been to the conference finals in his career, he showed up.
Yeah, what I would say is it's fitting to see Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Jared Allen, three of that original four quartet. My heart still misses Darius Garland, but they've replaced him with another, James Harden, a really good player, of course. And so for those three guys to come out in this game, Roz, and have the game that they had, Evan Mobley could be right up there when you talk about the importance of his play and how this team hums. But this is one of those things offensively in the playoffs where when Donovan Mitchell has a monster game, Cleveland is much, much harder to beat. And offensively, as we've said, he was just lights out from the start of the game. His speed, his decision-making, his shot making, that takes them to another level where now we're going to the conference finals. And, not to look ahead, but what was the best performance from the James Harden Cavs before tonight? It was probably when they beat the Knicks back in February in a similar kind of thing. I won't read too much into it, but I'm just saying when Mitchell plays really well and when Evan Mobley plays really well, they become a much harder team to beat.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was playing well. There was an aggressiveness, an urgency, a physicality. You saw Evan Mobley, you saw Jared Allen just attacking down the middle, right at the cup, to the rim, down the paint. Same for Donovan Mitchell. There was so little defensive resistance against the Cavs from the Pistons. And for a number of times in the game during the broadcast, we got to hear JB Bickerstaff in the huddle imploring his team at one point saying, we've got to find our competitive spirit. We've got to contain the drive. We've got to bring the physicality. And unfortunately, the Pistons really just weren't able to come up with it. So we have a chance right now to go to the presser live coming out of Detroit. JB Bickerstaff is addressing the media. Let's take a listen.